Hey, what's up guys? So I didn't make a YouTube video the last 2 days because the person on my team, I have one acquisitions manager that also cold calls, and she got a contract. So dispositions takes up a lot of my time. YouTube videos take up a lot of my time, and they're not where I make any money. So I did get a request to make a video about Mojo best practices and how I use the dialer. So I'm gonna make a quick video on that today and just kind of try to shoot through that and help you out with Mojo. So here we go. All right, so here's basic Mojo. I'm gonna go log in. Blah, 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 log in. All right, so you're gonna wanna have some numbers to call. So hopefully you've got those numbers to call. Go to the data and dialer. And what you're gonna wanna do is create a folder or list. It doesn't matter which order. You can put the list in the folder, create, vice versa. But so let's create a folder, and I'm gonna call it Mojo Test. So you can see I have the folder here now. And then you're also gonna wanna put a list in that folder. Mojo Test 1. Yeah, let's just call it that. Save. So now you have that list. If you want to put it in the folder, I always forget how to do this, but I think you go edit the folder and then put that Mojo test in that folder. And so now it's in the drop down, so you can have that Mojo test. Now, as you see, when I select this list, there's nothing in it. So what you're going to need to do is import a file. I already have this over on my other screen. I just created kind of like a dummy list. So you're going to import your list, and that could be formatted in a bunch of different ways. In Mojo, you'll be able to match the fields. So you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. The next step, put yourself as the manager or whoever you want. Select the list that data is going into. Hit next. So this is where you're going to map the fields. So first or full name, I always just do the first name. I actually don't have that in this file. I forgot to break it out because this is just a test. Usually I break it out, I have first name and last name, but I'm just kind of making a quick video here for you. So first or full name, so it's going to be the owner's full name there. Property address, you're going to do the street is what it's mapped in mine, and they give you an example here. So street right down here, and that's what I want as a street. State, zip, it looks like it already figured out, and city, so we're good. None of that info, and it did already map my phone numbers. So phone 1, 2, 3, 4, and I had 5 there. So if it doesn't have that, if it's blank, you would just go in here and select, okay, phone 1, phone 2, through 5, and so on, however many phone numbers you have on your list. Then you're gonna want to go to next. And as you can see, I made all the phone numbers, 555, 555, blah, 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 blah. So it won't have, over here, it'll say if you have duplicate phone numbers in the system or duplicate contacts, and it'll give you different options. I always just do the recommended option there. There's 3 options. I can't remember. It's like keep old, keep new, and keep new and old. And I can't remember what the recommended option is, but I just do that one. What we're gonna do, you're gonna import it, and then you'll have your data in your list. Okay, so now you've got who you're gonna call. You hit start on the dialer. It's really self-explanatory. You dial that number on your phone. You click start. You click start on your screen, and then the dialer starts to call. So I'm not gonna start dialing right now. Like I said, this is a quick video just to kind of give you the go through. What you want to do is click list from where you left off. If you haven't started the list, it'll just start from the top, and then you have this thing called optional dialing filters. I don't mess with these at the beginning. Not contacted in 30 days. I had that on there because when I'm returning lists, but you could say not contacted ever. So say you contacted somebody and you marked them contacted here. If you said not contacted ever, it will take them out. That way you're not harassing people. What I typically do is I call a list, and I'll just be churning that list for 6 months, 7 months. And eventually what I'll end up doing is just saying not contacted in the last 30 days, and then that will give me everyone on the list again. And even if I contacted you 6 months ago, right? So I'm gonna call you again because maybe something happened, maybe something changed. So that's kind of how that goes. So these are what you're gonna get. So you hit the start power dialer. This is how you start calling. When you're calling, here is how I operate these options. So someone picks up, you're talking to them, your script is going to pop up. Hey, I'm looking for Bob. This is the TTP script. Yeah, this is Bob. Hey Bob, my name is Kyle. I know this call is kind of out of the blue here. I was actually just calling about a property I think you own over on Main Street. Yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I'm not interested in selling. But you got the right person. You just mark them as contacted. And then the dialer will just move on to the next thing. So if you've got the right person, but they're just not interested, mark them as contacted, and then call them again in 6 months, 3 months, whatever your process is. Say you got a voicemail. So it goes, beep. Yeah, you've reached so-and-so at blah, blah, blah. That means you got a voicemail. Click no contact. And under no contact, maybe I should have ran the dialer. There's two options. There's no contact next number, which means that it's just going to call the next number in that contact. So say Kyle Crayson was uploaded and it had 4 numbers for me. Well, it didn't contact me on the first one, so if you hit no contact next number, it'll call my second number. If you hit no contact next record, it's going to bypass my other 3 numbers and go to the next person, Steve Jones or something like that, right? Bad number, I never use. Drop message, I never use. Some people, maybe you can leave voicemails. It's like you can do RVM and cold call and kill maybe 2 birds with 1 stone or something like that. I've just never personally done it. Not to say it's wrong. Maybe it's actually better. I just haven't done it. I actually do texting and I do RVM separate, so I don't include that in my cold calling, but I don't know. DNC contact, if someone cusses you out, right? Don't call me again, I'm going to sue you, or F off, or whatever they say, or, then I DNC contact, and it puts them in a list in Mojo, and they're never going to be called again. Future list to upload, old list that you have, if you have duplicate records, they're never going to be called by your system. So I only do that with people when it gets to a certain point where I'm either afraid they're going to sue me, or they're rude, cussing me out, and I wouldn't want to do business with that person anyways. In that case, DNC. And that's only if you have the right person. Say you called up, hi, I'm looking for Betty. No, this is John. Oh, John, I'm sorry about that. I must have the wrong number. Have a great rest of your day. Then I DNC the number, because that means that number is a wrong number. You have bad number. I don't use those. It's just at least for me, that's not how I do it. I DNC the number. That guy's never going to get called again. And that's how my process works. You can hang up, pause the dialer, stop the dialer. I don't use it as a CRM, so all my notes are done in Podio. So as soon as somebody answers, their address gets pulled up on Mojo, and then it'll show here. And what I'll do is I'll copy the address, and then I go over to my prop stream, and I plug in the address, and then I also go to Google, and I pull it up on the map. So if they start asking me questions, I could be like, oh yeah, you still got that big tree out in the front yard? It looks like it might be hanging over the roof a little. Or whatever. And they're like, oh, he's really familiar with the property. He knows what he's talking about. You can kind of get some authority there. Or I see that there's window units on the back of the house. Does it have central heating and air? No, it doesn't have central heating. Just things you can ask intelligent questions about the house. And that's it. That's basically what I do. So this is how I use Mojo. Once it becomes a lead, I put it into Podio, and then from Podio, I start doing my stuff. Also, if it becomes a lead and gets into my Podio, it never comes out of my Podio. And it's not going to be dead again unless they cuss me out or really want me to stop calling them. But I set them up on a follow-up, and I text them and call them at least once a month if I can't get a hold of them. If they're hot, I'm calling them all the time trying to get in touch. And so for that reason, I mark them, if they go into my Podio, as a DNC contact, so that I don't call them again because I already have their information. They have my information. We're already connected, so I don't want to keep calling them. Again, that might not be best practice. That's just what I do. Maybe you just want to mark them as contact and keep them in your stream. Maybe they have multiple properties. Maybe they'll call you, something else, and you would want that contact to stay in there. So that's a possibility. It's just not something that I do right now. All right, so that's it for this video. I know I went through it kind of fast. Hopefully you can just, replay some of the parts that you want to slow down on. I just didn't want to drag it out and make it a really long video. If you found it helpful, please, like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's been pretty fun. It's been pretty fun making these videos, and I want to keep doing it. If you have any more questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be using Mojo for a while. I know that I'm switching over to smartphone. I mentioned that in some previous videos. It's gonna take me a little bit of time. It's taking me longer to switch from CallRail into there. So Mojo, I'll be using this for at least 3 months. It's really user-friendly. Just get a list in there and play around with it, and I think you'll figure it out. That's it for this video. So thanks for watching, and I hope it helps. See you on the next one.